Hello ladies, gentlemen, and helicopters. My name is Emperor Poxal, and today we're going to be talking about the manliest, the chadliest, the coolest man of culture himself, Weevil Underwood from Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. This video will be split up into two parts, one that's full of memes and the other one that's slightly more serious. The timestamps are on screen and in the description. Due to the fact that Weevil Underwood has no backstory to explain why he is this and why he is the brat he is, we'll have to make up our own based on undeniable evidence we find throughout the show. First things first though is that Weevil was born on July 21st, 1983. The more you know. Anyway, on to the backstory. Weevil Underwood's history is truly a tragic one. You see, when Weevil was only 6 years old, he didn't wear green on St. Patrick's Day. Because of this, everyone began to pinch him non-stop. He screamed while pleading and begging for everyone to stop, but no one would. It wasn't until the blood began to gush from his arms that his one and only friend, a caterpillar named Bugcun1, saw him. Immediately, the brave caterpillar went crawling up to Weevil's white t-shirt and exploded. All the pinching suddenly stopped. However, Weevil immediately realized that he had lost something far greater. As he cried, he looked at his only friend dead on his t-shirt and screamed, "Thank you, Bugcun1!" After school, things only got worse. He got home and his mom was furious, throwing him out and disowning him for staining his only white t-shirt. Although I can understand the mother's position. White t-shirts are expensive. It's still sad to realize that Weevil lost his only friend. He became homeless, and he found out that his mom doesn't love him. It was really sad. The next 2 years, Weevil just collected pennies by the dumpster, and he gambled with them. And somehow he won that gamble, winning $10,000. He spent all that money on Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He became a god in his universe, being so manly that even Escanor himself was scared of Weevil's manliness. So Escanor devised a plan. Escanor tricked Weevil into falling into the trash dimension. There he starved for 68 days, but on the 69th day, he was teleported to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime world we know and love. Weevil quickly thought that this might finally be paradise. However, quickly he realized that he wasn't meant for this world either. He was bullied there. You see, St. Patrick's Day was on this world too, and guess what day it was when he arrived? It was St. Patrick's Day. So quickly, he sold a few Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and using $1,000, he bought a green coat and vowed to never take off the coat we see and love on Weevil today. However, the same day, tragedy struck again. Bugcun2, the gray moth that Weevil sold his Yu-Gi-Oh cards to for the $1,000. He was being bullied, pinched. After all, he wasn't wearing green. It was Dio and his gang. This outraged Weevil. Weevil screamed, "No, not Bugcun2!" So he challenged Dio and the boys to a duel. He knew that with his intellect that he could defeat them. However, he was wrong, because Dio said, "You thought I was Dio, but it was me, Yugi!" Revealing himself to be Yugi, the king of games. Quickly it became a battle of wits, and although Weevil Underwood had excellent strategy, Yugi had better Yugi was the main character, so Weevil lost that battle. As punishment for losing the game, Yugi stomped on Bugcun2 as Weevil watched. Weevil screamed again, "No, not Bugcun2!" He wanted to exalt his revenge, but he couldn't. After all, he was too weak. It was there and then he stood up and screamed, saying, "I'll never lose again. No matter how many cheats I do, I'll win for Bugcun1 and Bugcun2." He fell to the floor and cried for 3 days. Thereafter, he became the strongest duelist in the world. However, his brain was brainwashed into not remembering that Dio was Yugi. I hope you guys enjoyed that 100% factual backstory, but in all seriousness, I spent 2 hours searching far and wide for a real one. But I guess I had to go to the Yu-Gi-Oh universe and ask the manly Weevil himself. Now, however, it's time for the more serious part of the video. For the rest of the video, we will be discussing 2 things. One of the scenes that Weevil completely changed the tone of the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters series, and Why no one, not even myself, can truly understand Weevil Underwood, but on how that's actually okay. The scene that completely changes the tone of the anime is actually one of the biggest scenes in anime of all time. It is the scene where Weevil and Yugi first meet. I'm sure you all remember it. Weevil asks to borrow the unstoppable Exodia and then throws it into the ocean. I'm sure I'm making a few of you guys nostalgic right now, just talking about it. The scene establishes two important details. One that's more obvious, that has to do with the mental state of Weevil Underwood, but the other I don't see a lot of people noticing. The other literally changes the dynamics of Yu-Gi-Oh! Forever. During the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, the entire season leads up to one fight, and that is the fight between Yugi and Pegasus. However, there's a simple fight before that that's much more storytelling for the long run, and that is the fight between Yugi and Joey. Here we have two best friends fighting it out. There can only be one clear winner. These are best friends who are devoted to each other till the end. One that's fighting for his blind sister, yet the other who is fighting for his grandpa's soul. They both believe that if one loses, then the other person loses everything. They mean the world to each other, but the stakes in the duel are so high that they have to fight. They're individuals who are closer than brothers. And how do we know this? Well, we know this because of the scene I mentioned before. When Weevil throws the cards into the ocean, Joey jumps in during a storm. He risked his life to save some cards. Pretty stupid, yes. But what people don't understand is that he did this because he knew how much those cards meant to Yugi. He didn't want Yugi to lose these cards that meant so much to him. He was truly Yugi's best friend. And no other scene displays that better than this one right here, where Joey literally risks his life. This scene also declares that Weevil will do anything to win. However, we're unsure on why, and that's where the point of my video is going to come to light. This scene also declares to us that Weevil will do anything to win. However, we are not sure on why, and that's where the point of my video is going to come into light. We are not sure why Weevil acts how he does. He is a 14-year-old child. Oftentimes in anime, we see children displayed as perfect kids, but in reality, they have their own social problems. They struggle with their own things, and some haven't learned human decency yet. Weevil Underwood is 100% one of these examples in my eyes. Oftentimes, humans act upon their past and history. Their history is what makes them up, who and what they are, how they act, everything. And sadly, we just don't know Weevil's past. We don't know if Weevil is trying to save someone or trying to exalt his revenge for what happened to Bugcun. Perhaps he made a promise that he would win no matter what. Instead, people just hate on him, instead of trying to look under the surface level of Weevil Underwood. Do you guys remember how much you hated Shoya from Kono Katachi, or A Silent Voice, when he was the bully? At the start of the movie, do you remember? Because I do. I remember how much I had this hatred for him. And then as I continued to watch the movie, he slowly becomes one of the most relatable characters that people, including myself, love to death. Shoya is literally my favorite character in anime, period. I feel like in some senses we can actually put this upon Weevil Underwood. We don't know enough about him to truly ever understand him. Now, this doesn't excuse him of the crap he did. He did do some pretty messed up things, like trying to steal the god cards, trying to steal Yugi's soul. He did a lot of bad things, but his annoying side that people oftentimes complain about, that annoying side is only because he's a kid, and he's learning on how to improve himself. He's learning human decency. Now, we never get a sign of this, however, apparently he's kind in one of the games. I was reading a Reddit post when doing research for his backstory, and one of the games he does show kindness, which can prove a series of things. But overall, I just wanted to say, he was never designed to be given much thought, which is why in my eyes, although it's somewhat bad writing, no one can understand Weevil Underwood. But that's okay, because it's impossible to do so. Anyway guys, thank you guys for making it till the end of the video. Make sure you guys subscribe if you guys have not, and leave a like and comment. Also share it with your Weevil Underwood Yu-Gi-Oh fans, friends, and haters. And yeah, give me your opinions on the video. I know it seems a little bit rushed, and for that I'm sorry, but I am back on YouTube now. June is going to be a strong month. Let's hit 200 subs in June. Adios guys.